everybody, how's it going? It's Jamie, the crafty DIY guy, and I'm back. I've got some Dollar Tree DIYs for you today that are specifically for the man cave. Now, if you're wanting to holiday decorate the house and the man cave is off limits, these could be some ideas that you could kind of sneak into the man cave that maybe he wouldn't notice or maybe he wouldn't mind. And if you're like my mom, you could just tell Dad, too bad. He's gonna get some holiday decoration in that room anyway, because that's probably what my mom would do. Now, I'm also excited because this video is a collaboration with Aneka from Crafty Repeat. Now, if you know Aneka and her videos, you know that she also likes to share a yummy treat at the end of those videos. And for her subscribers, I want to also honor that same tradition. So we will be putting a crafty treat or an edible treat at the end of this video for you guys and for my subscribers. Now, if you are one of my long-term subscribers, you know that I call you guys my OGs, and I appreciate you guys so much. It's been a fun year and a half, and it's great getting to know you guys and to just learn more about you and your families. Also, if you are one of my newer subscribers, maybe you're not quite OG status yet, but that's okay. I still appreciate you as well. And if you're brand new to the channel, maybe this is even the first time you're seeing me because YouTube recommended this video. Thank you, YouTube. But maybe you'll stick around and subscribe, and that would be amazing. So let's get into the DIY because I'm just rambling a lot. And then you're gonna have Aneka's video down below that you can check out as well. All right, thanks guys. Be sure to check out Crafty Repeat. Aneka's channel has all kinds of fantastic DIY projects and DIY treats. She also has a fantastic Instagram page. You can follow her on Pinterest and on Facebook as well. I will have a link to her channel and her collaboration video below. Right, everyone, and for my first project, I'm going to be using this buffalo check frame that I found at Dollar Tree. I got excited, and then I saw why I think nobody bought it because of that kind of ripping that happens on the back there. But I did have some buffalo check wrapping paper that I picked up at Dollar Tree also, so I thought I could salvage this pretty easily. I did have an ornament that was left over from a previous DIY. This is literally just that kind of deer ornament that they sell at Dollar Tree that I just spray painted over in black. And then I had this little sprig left over that I thought would be nice for some added color onto the project. So the first thing I'm going to do is just unassemble this frame, and we are literally just going to wrap this up like it's a present. We're not going to overcomplicate this. We're actually going to keep it very, very simple. You may want to double wrap yours. The paper is definitely very thin, and it will tend to rip and tear in some areas. So after I cut out a sheet of paper that was about the same size of my frame backing, I literally just wrapped it like I was wrapping a present. No crazy skill here. Just literally wrap it, and I used some good old Scotch tape just to hold it all together. Once I had everything taped down, I did assemble it back together, and I had the perfect buffalo check frame for my reindeer. Now, the deer itself does not have a flat back, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to glue the points of the deer that do rest flat up against that frame. So it's a couple of these horns that are kind of at the top, and then the back of the head, and then also right by the kind of the back of the neck, I guess, of the deer. I don't know what that would be called, like where its head's cut off. And we're just going to add some hot glue onto that and then just literally glue it down to the frame itself. Now, remember, I did have that little color of that little sprig there with the red and the green, and I just added that on top. I didn't even have to glue it. It just sat perfectly on top of its head. Now, I wanted to make something to kind of complement the deer as well. You know, you got to add a little more knickknacks into the man cave if you can. So I'm taking 2 of these reindeer ornaments that I found, and then I also have 2 of these wood sprigs from Dollar Tree. If you can't find these, literally go in the backyard, cut down a tree, and you'll have your own pieces. These are birch pieces, I believe. And then I'm going to take some of my black chalk paint, and we are just going to start to cover that reindeer up with that black chalk paint. We're going to do it on both sides, and I'm doing it a little loose, I would say. You could do this heavier if you wanted to. You could also do it a lot lighter if you wanted to keep some of that red. I just wanted the red to just kind of sparkle through just a little bit. And quite honestly, I did go probably a little heavier than I wanted to, but I'm still really, really happy with the way they turned out. So you will do both sides of your ornaments, and you'll do both ornaments. And then if you have one of these heat guns, I highly recommend them if you don't, but take those and just use that to help speed up the drying process of your chalk paint, and it will really, really make a difference in how quickly you can get crafts done. Now for the stumps themselves, or for the little birch pieces of wood, I am just taking that brush with that leftover paint on it and just kind of lightly going around it. And that's just to kind of tie that in a little bit better. You could also use some antiquing wax if you wanted to. I also think this would be really cool to do this with red chalk paint as well, and just kind of highlight those wood pieces with the red chalk paint. So you'll do that on both of your stumps, and then you're going to take this handy little tool that I found in the Crafter Square department. It's actually a woodworking tool, and it comes with a 3-piece set. This will help you kind of drill holes manually. You can't do real big holes with it, but you certainly can make holes kind of like that. Then the idea here is that these reindeers will stand up thanks to those holes and some hot glue. And you'll have some cool little knick-knack accessory pieces that can go with your frame that you just completed. So add some hot glue in the hole itself that you just kind of manually drilled out. And then take his hoof or his foot, I'm not sure, I think it's a hoof, and just kind of hold him into place until that glue sets up. And then you'll have 2 of these that perfectly complement that frame. I love the way these look, and it's a great way to sneak in some decor into the hubby's man cave without him really knowing about it. And hey, I think it's pretty cool. I actually like it a lot, and this is what it looks like when it's all done and set up in my man cave. And for my last project, I'm going to grab one of these shadow boxes from Dollar Tree. I actually love this shadow box and thought it was really cool. I also grabbed some vase filler and a package of these red truck Christmas cards. I saw these Christmas cards and thought that they were adorable. I actually grabbed 4 packages because I'm going to use these for my cards, but I'm going to use one of them for this shadow box. Now, go ahead and take your shadow box and just push very lightly on the front of that glass. And when you do that, you'll see that this starts to unfold kind of like so. Now, for the greeting card, you're going to think that the card fits perfectly, because I certainly thought it did when I put it in there first. But you'll notice those side flaps. You need to trim this card so it fits perfectly on the cardboard backing and not interfering with those side flaps, because those side flaps are actually what keeps this sealed. Once I did have everything trimmed down to the perfect size, I went ahead and added a lot of hot glue to the back of this. Now, for my hot glue technique here, I am adding hot glue, but I'm also keeping the tip in the hot glue as I'm kind of spreading it around the back of that frame. The reason why I do that is because I want to keep that glue very liquid, and I don't want the glue to dry on me as I'm trying to cover the rest of the frame. As you know, hot glue tends to dry up pretty quickly sometimes, and it can kind of mess with our projects. So for this, it's important to make sure that that card is as flat as possible on the back of that. I didn't have any spray adhesive, otherwise I probably would have used that. But if you use that technique with your glue gun, it should work out pretty well. As you'll see here, I did put that card successfully on the back, and those frames, the side of the frame rather, didn't interfere. Now for that top flap, you'll keep that one open because that's how you're going to add your snow. I'm calling this ice. Since I live in Atlanta, we get more ice than anything. And as you can see, it is just filling in there perfectly. I didn't spill any of it. I was pretty lucky. And then once you do have the amount of snow or ice inside your frame, go ahead and flip it down and then tuck that last flap in there. You may have to bend that just a little to get it to fit in there, and then you can add some hot glue if you'd like, just to help seal it up. And then once you do, you've got a truck riding through the snow, and it's a cool little shadow box that you can also add to the man cave. And, it's subtle enough to where he's not really going to notice. Now, what I think is pretty fun about this is, as you can see, the snow or the ice is kind of spreading all around, and it just reminds me of a truck just, I don't know, going through the snow crazily. And this is what it looks like on the wall in the man cave. Again, I think this is pretty cool, and it's a fun way to add some decor to the man cave without him really noticing, or at least without him minding it. For my yummy treat, I'm going to be making some chocolate chip muffins with this muffin mix from Dollar Tree. I'm also adding some coconut to mine. I picked that up at Dollar Tree as well. What's cool about this mix is that you can either add water or milk to this. It's up to you. I added my mix. I added about half a bag of coconut, and then I added half a cup of milk. I just eyeballed this. Stirred it all together really well, and this will make 6 muffins, by the way. Go ahead and divide it up into your 6 muffin tins, and go ahead and preheat your oven before you do all this. I didn't do that like a bonehead. And once it's all done, this is what it looks like. I am in love with these muffins. They are yummy. It is the perfect little sweet treat, and it is the perfect complement to my hot chocolate in my favorite Dollar Tree mug. Happy holidays, everybody. Thank you so much for watching, and be sure to check out Craft, Eat, Repeat in the link below.